Multiple inheritance in C++ is implemented by simply listing more than one base class in the class definition. Let's take a look at an example. Here I have a working copy of simpleinheritance.cpp from chapter 7 of the exercise files. I'm going to start by creating a second base class, and I'll call this one fur, keeping with the animal theme, and it'll have a string called type and a private constructor so that it cannot be constructed by itself, and a protected constructor, and then a public interface member function. And so that's a nice simple little class that we can use as a second base class with cat. And here we have the cat class, and so we'll add fur to the list of inherited base classes like this. Now I could have omitted the word public here because it would have just been public because there's two of them listed there. I like to include it just to make sure that I'm clear. And here I'll add a second constructor to this constructor for fur, and we'll say that this cat has silky fur. I need another comma there. And I can add a member function here for grooming. I'll go ahead and implement it down here. And this can actually be const. So I'll go ahead and add const up here, make it const safe, and it'll just print out a string. Now it needs both name from the animal base class and type from the fur base class. So we'll specify them. We'll say animal, name, and make it a C string, and fur, type, and get the C string from that as well. And now I can call grooming on cat down here. I'll just put it at the end so we can see it, and build and run. And it says Fluffy grooms her silky fur. So this is actually pretty simple. The fur class holds a type for the fur, and it has an accessor for that type, and the type gets initialized in the constructor. The cat inherits both animal and fur, and it constructs fur here with a type. We could have had a separate constructor that also allows the user to specify a type, but I'm just being simple here. And it has a grooming method or member function, which just prints out a string with the name of the animal and the type of the fur. And because there's a type member function both in animal right there and in fur right here, we need to specify which of the base classes we're calling that member function on. So that's really it. There's just a few details you have to worry about. Multiple inheritance in C++ is really very simple, perhaps too simple, because sometimes while it's really necessary, many times, like here, for example, it can create unnecessary complexity. In this example, it may have been more clear if the cat class used a fur object as a data member rather than inheriting it. The code would have been simpler and easier to follow, and the type function would no longer be ambiguous. So it's good to demonstrate that as well.